We're going to move to WWE. And someone I don't remember if we've talked about before. I think we probably have. But anyway, so this is to Chris Van Vliet when he was asked about his last match and if he would ever return. Dave Batista said the following. I did know... I'm sorry, he actually, just to preface this, says... he's talking about did he know that his last match was going to be his last, which is WrestleMania 35.
I did. I just didn't tell anybody else, and then
Nobody.
because I didn't want it to be I didn't want it to be a big ordeal. I didn't want to, go out and do the tour and give a speech. I wanted to have my match, and I wanted to call it a career. So I wanted to go out on my own terms.
Is
It was
that
the
how it
way I
works?
wanted to go out. This is like a dream for me. This is why it's so perfect. It's such a romantic way. And wrestlers don't get to choose the way they go out.
Yeah.
I did. I went out on my own terms, the way I wanted, with the guy I wanted to go out with.
Yeah.
And I will never tarnish that. It's not that I don't miss it.
Yeah.
I miss the crowd. I miss the energy of the crowd. I dream about walking out and hearing my entrance music. But I know if I do that, I will just tarnish my storybook ending, and I'm just not willing to do it.
It's quite refreshing comment from Batista there.
Well, I like his answer. He knew it. Nobody else knew it. And he can look back on that. He finally found a match that met his criteria for a last match, and he stayed with it. Now, as long as he doesn't have another one, which he said he's not going to have, but we've heard that a lot of times. But I think with Batista, I think he has a little bit of credibility with the fans. And if he says he's not going to have another one, I don't think he's going to have another one. So if he's happy with that, I'm happy with him. And people can look back on his career and that's his last match and be pleased with it and happy with it.
You know his last run in 2014 when you were with the company during Zeb Colter, with the Zeb Colter thing. Apparently he turned back up to WWE because even though he had like a great Hollywood career at that point, Guardians of the Galaxy, etc., he was basically bankrupt. So that's why he ended up going back.
He was bankrupt.
Yeah, basically he just run out of money. So he needed to go back to wrestling and top it up.
Again, I'm going to go back to this. I can see running out of money. But with the career he had, and he ran out of money, where'd it go? You don't know? I don't know either. So
some expensive taste, that boy, clearly.
And I never sat down with him. I said hello to him and maybe 100 words, how you doing, and blah, 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 blah. But, and Dave Batista lives in Tampa. He doesn't live that far from me, but I've never run across him. But from what I hear, he's a pretty good guy, pretty decent guy. And I'm glad for him.
Yeah, his last match was a one-off. Triple H defeated Batista at 24 minutes 45. I'm going to ask one more follow-up question, but I'm going to give you one more quote. On returning, he says, it's always a temptation because I miss it. And every time I hear my music, I want that feeling again. It's like a drug. It's pure adrenaline.
No kidding.
Well, that's what I'm about to ask you is, do you still miss it?
Well, I don't miss it now because I know I can't do it. I would miss it if I could do it. But I do miss, like you said, it is a drug. It is a drug that you can get high on just by hearing it and going and seeing all those people. If they could manufacture and bottle that drug and sell it, they'd be a billionaire the first day. Because it is something when you walk out and there's 50,000, 60 or more, 80,000 people. And when you walk out there, there is a certain chemical rush to it. And you can't explain it, but you sure can feel it. So... And I got that sometimes, just not necessarily huge crowds like 80,000, but if say there was 10,000 there, but they are live. When they come alive and you read, here's my favorite saying, read the temperature of the room. See, all you got to do then is go to the ring and they're going to buy everything. One feeling I had there, and I don't even know why I bring this up, but I saw these guys. I went to Trinidad one time and they'd never had pro wrestling before. but they were so electric, you didn't have to do anything. When the guys came head to head we used to do introductions, and, the referee would, like boxing, bring them together. I mean, they were so electric then, and they were just looking at each other. And the first time one of them, they locked up, the place come in. They had done literally nothing except lock up, maybe take a headlock. And they went, oh. I went, well, what the hell? And I'm thinking, boy, you need to. I told the booker at the time, I said, you don't need to do nothing out there tonight. I said, hold everything down, because they're buying everything. So, but of course there was a Puerto Rican office running it. They do everything. They was running through the crowd and blood everywhere, chairs and everything else. So I said, hey, you guys, you run through the six months of material out there in the first 3 matches. I don't think they knew what I was talking about and wanted me to shut up too. Plus I speak in English and they probably couldn't understand what I was saying anyway. So
just going on what you were saying before, I may have asked you this before, but I can't remember what you said. Did you get the same rush as a manager? Like Zeb Colter going out in front of 10,000 people plus. Did you get the same rush as a manager as you did as a wrestler?
No, I got the rush. No, you get it as a wrestler more, because now you have control of it. Manager has no control of it. The manager is there to be seen and, just be part of the package team. But when you go out there as a wrestler, you have control of those people. And an old time wrestler, his name is Dick Steinborn. You can look him up. One of the greatest ring technicians that I ever saw when I broke in. But he told me, he says, you can go out there and you can pick them up and you can set them down and you can mellow them out. You can do anything. When you got those people in your grasp, in your control, you can do anything with them, as long as you do it that makes sense. I mean, you can't just pull out a gun, shoot the guy. You can't do that. But within a wrestling context, if you have control of them, and they want you to have control of them. So I've seen those people. If you see 2 masters in the ring, and I will say the 2 masters I saw was Dickie Steinborn and Assassin number 2, which was Jody Hamilton. They had matches that even if you were smartened up on the business, but if you weren't, it looked totally real. And that's why I think wrestling has survived over the years, is because, I've heard people say, I know wrestling's fake, but by God, I saw this one match one time. By God, they were mad at each other. And that's what's, and I've said this 1,000 times. You got to get them in that is it or isn't it frame. And once you get them in there, you got them.